All right, everybody, Saturday afternoon, Schmolke Investment Team LSU football practice report. Got to see the entire practice today. Got Blake Baker after that. I think he was very reasonable with what he had to say, or very honest. He said we're very inconsistent right now, and that's something that they're working on. And I think he was very honest about where his defense stood. There was a lot of nice standouts in practice today. I think, again, probably the third or fourth practice, I thought Aaron Anderson was a standout, catching everything that was thrown his way and looking good after the catch. And I thought Nussmeier looked good as well. But, Buddy, what'd you think?
Good afternoon, everybody. We give you the background of Tiger Stadium. Now, look, Mike and I are both superstitious, but we try to give you a little different viewpoint. You see in Tiger Stadium in the background, folks, 2 weeks from today, college football starts week 0. Florida State and Georgia Tech playing in Dublin Iron at 11 o'clock. So ladies, get your honeydews in because it's around the corner. 3 weeks from tomorrow, LSU in Las Vegas. We've got a bunch of tidbits. And you know, Mike has been sounding the alarm about defense, and I kind of like the fact that Blake Baker said we're not ready to play. I asked about the A-gap. LSU's got to tackle inside the A-gap, and that means Perkins, that means Penn, and oh, by the way, we had questions about Whit Weeks. He's not considered a backup. Whit and Wes Weeks are going to play just as much, maybe not quite so much, but 4 linebackers are going to play. Jacoby and Gilry, Jalen Lee. Jalen Lee's back, Braden Swenson's back, and the one guy I really am excited about being back, Xavier Thomas. You talk about Zero Thomas. 1, Aaron Anderson. LSU's got some speed, and don't sleep on 17, Jelani Watkins. So I'm in a great mood. I've really enjoyed the practice this year. Not too hot, but we got to tell you, LSU's not ready to play a football game right now, but they only have to be ready 3 weeks and a day from today.
Absolutely. They'll have a recovery day tomorrow. We'll be back out here on Monday. What we get, first 3 days again in the week?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
and
next Saturday.
Yeah, that's a nice little stretch there. Then they give them some breaks again, and the same goes for the media. But if you're enjoying this practice report, please, again, hit that like button and subscribe and notify to our notification bell here on our YouTube channel. Got a lot of nice practice footage. It's also going to be up on the channel. Blake Baker's already up on the channel, so you can check that out. I like what I saw from the running backs again today. They were really excited about on a few plays of John Emery and the way that he looked and was hitting the hole and doing some nice things. Caleb Jackson continues to shine. Josh Williams. What more can you say there? I even noticed today, I was teasing Blake Baker a few weeks ago. His playing weight at Tulane was 220. He looks like he's about 185 now. I'm noticing Frank Wilson has lost a lot of weight. There's a lot of people out here losing weight right now, but I tell you, I think he really likes what that defensive line that we been picking on all off season. I think he thinks there's some pieces there that they can get the job done. And he had a lot of complimentary things to say about Bo Davis and Coach Peoples, and being 2 of the finest. And again, brought up the Pete. They're both being Pete Jenkins disciples.
Yeah, look, folks, we give you a lot of good positive stuff, and of course that's going to start off with the offense. Nuss is having good days. He's also going to throw some picks. But once again, folks, what I really got excited about, the jailbreak screen, the bubble screen, the flare till you backs out the backfield. I don't care if it's 27, 29, 28, 22. LSU is going to put pressure in space on the defense with the little swing pass. A lot of dink and dunk. Then you play action and go over the top to guys that can run. Kyron Lacey, we haven't talked enough about number 2. He's catching everything in sight. I know he did have one drop
Shelton
earlier.
Sampson has some grabs today.
Shelton Sampson's in the mix. Once again, C.J. Daniels. And, of course, as we know, Chris Hilton's got a chance, if he stays healthy, to have a 1,000-yard season. And then you get into some of those other guys, Kyle Parker. So LSU wide receivers for days. Tight ends, I think this is the best tight end class and room that you've had. 14, Trey'Dez Green, going to be out in space a lot. Pimpton out in space a lot. Everybody's talking about those 2 guys. Don't sleep on Mason Taylor. This is his money year. Then you get to the offensive line. Everybody talks about them being the offensive line, one of the better in the country. They want to win the Joe Moore Award. they're working their tail off to get that defensive line better. And I will tell you, DJ Chester, number 79, just like I said, Nuss is going to throw some picks, not being mean, but being objective. DJ Chester's going to give up some sacks. You don't get into the incredible land of offensive line play and don't have a bad center snap and don't have give up a sack or don't have a fumble with an exchange. Those things are going to happen when you've got a redshirt freshman starting. But, man, I like the offensive room. You could tell there's a difference. Joe Sloan in the offense, a little bit ahead of the defense right now. I think you would agree.
Absolutely. And I think the only person that we didn't see out there today was Paez.
Gio Paez was not out there. Nathan Dybert was not kicking off. He was out there, but Damian Ramos and Aiden Corbello, John's son, were doing the kickoffs. I have not seen Aaron Burrell. He's got to have an injury. Did you see Burrell at all?
I know when the first day we were out there, he was doing some stuff with trainers off to the side that looked like they were working through something, and what it is, I have no idea.
Yeah. Look, they looked at kickoff returns, and once again, you got 0, 1, you got 12, you got 17. You ought to know those players by now. Once again, start to get acclimated with the numbers and the names. Caleb Jackson did fumble a kickoff. I don't think you're going to see him on kickoffs this year. Too many sure-handed guys. But you and I both like the way that Xavier Thomas and Aaron Anderson are seamlessly catching the football. And folks, if you remember, the same thing happened to Malik Neighbors in the Superdome. You botch 2 and you go to the bench. Same thing happened with Aaron Anderson last year. Didn't have the confidence at the beginning. Those two guys look very confident. I'm going to once again predict LSU will be appreciably better in punt and kickoff return this season.
Absolutely. Let me see what else I think we had. I think all the quarterbacks, I don't know if there's anything out of Swan today that I thought was out of the ordinary. Ricky Collins had some nice throws. Colin Hurley had a nice touchdown pass. I think it was to Sampson, wasn't it? We got all of them involved. Colin Hurley there a little bit late while we were in there. But yeah, the offense is certainly ahead of the defense, and they're taking some lumps. But I think Blake Baker is kind of like in the fact that it looks like his defense is starting to catch up, and still some inconsistencies, but they're getting there. And I like that he was very honest about that.
I mentioned to Coach Baker as he was leaving, GATA. Get after their A. Fill up the last two letters. Get after their ass. But the problem you have is this. If you get after them and you don't get to the quarterback in time, then you got to lean on Sage Ryan and Ashton Stamps to cover, and you got to lean on Jordan Gilbert. And, of course, right now, 6 is playing safety, whether or not some other guys beat him out. A lot of young players on defense, but it's a work in progress. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to send the kitchen sink, but he also, and we were talking about before we had Coach Baker, he's got to cover up weaknesses, folks. It's like anything else in business. You accentuate the positives, you lean on your strengths, and you cover up the weaknesses, and I know that is one of the big concerns. I think the D-line has gotten better. The secondary and corners, look, don't make any predictions about how many yards you're going to give up the first thing. I think the other thing too, Mike, if Blake Baker and LSU can just win the first game or two, that defense will get better, but they're mixing and matching. A lot of guys coming in, a lot of new players, and so today is kind of a mixed bag, but as always, we know that they got a lot of players. Can they get ready to play for 22 days from today? Well, you better get ready because it's around the corner.
Absolutely. I got a read to do, so you're going to fill a little time.
All right, yeah, we
Go
do
ahead.
that. Here we go, folks. It's just like the games. You're going to have substitutions coming in. We did not get a chance to verify, but most people are assuming that Greg Penn will have the communication in the helmet. Zy Alexander was asked about him. Nobody's going to put a percentage on him. He looks like he's about 80%. I don't know if he can get ready for the first game. So if you don't have Zy Alexander, who's wearing 14, you're going to be leaning on Sage Ryan in that first game, whether you want to like it or not. Ashton Stamps. Jair Brown, 17, got more reps, and they also blitzed him a little bit. So a lot of players, a lot of defense, and of course, we couldn't do it without the Schmolke investment team.
Absolutely. What is something you can do with your money? it would be meaningful to you? Do you have goals you want to reach? Do you feel like you need some guidance to realize those goals? At the Schmolke investment team, they have people to set their goals and work toward them. They'll help you do it. Over 50 years of experience doing just that. If you want to get serious about reaching your financial potential, give them a call, 318-448-3201, 318-448-3201. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA/SIPC, Versailles Boulevard in Alexandria. If you're anywhere in central Louisiana, go see them for your investments. They're going to help you and wade through these troubled times right now. And great people, been knowing them for almost 3 decades. And Bart also hosts a very great LSU show on Mondays, Tiger Talk on KZMZ. And they go from 4 to 6, and I'm usually on at about 20 to 6 o'clock every Monday evening. I've been doing that show for, almost 25 years now, and it's a great one.
And the reason they're so popular is that they have experience. Now, we connected dots here with Jacoby and Gilry, who's from Alexandria. Big number 90, Blake Baker says, I love the progress. You know, he was here in 21, left and went to Missouri. Jacoby and Gilry is one of the vocal leaders. Jalen Lee slipped right in there with the number 1 since he's back. Braden Swinson, I don't know if you had a chance to look at him, but number 13 looks the part. Him and 16 on the edge. Don't sleep on Parashan. Don't sleep on Kalash Cobbins. Don't sleep on JVR Suggs inside. I'm watching Dominic McKinley, Mike. He's making some plays, but that experience that they have with Bart and his son means a lot, because when you have a day when you lose 10 or 15 or 20,000, or whether it's 1,000, you start to get leery and you start to have that fear. That's what Bart and his son do. They communicate, you can trust them, but they got the experience. And let's be honest, that's what we want to see. You've heard Blake Baker said, I asked him about stopping the A-gap and covering over the top and on the outside, and he said, if we play what we're supposed to play, it's no problems. But then again, he was very forthright. They're not ready to play a game on defense right now, folks. So you're going to have to be patient, and you have to give them a little leeway. That defense is not going to look as good in week 1 as it might look in week 4 or 5, Mike.
Absolutely. Again, if you enjoyed this practice report, please hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. Anything else you want to add? I think we've just about covered everything.
Yeah, just a bevy of wide receivers. Really love the short passing game. Running backs for days. We still hadn't seen Trey Holly out here. Javian Toviano is working. Obviously, some special teams work, still a work. So we talked about it. You want to get through the grunt this period of time. You want to get through as few injuries as you can. I think the guys are actually getting in shape. And oh, by the way, everybody, wish Mike a happy belated birthday. Celebrated number 47 last night with his friends and family. So happy birthday to you, my friend.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
And of course, I lie on age, so yeah. Don't ask me if that's legitimate or not.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I think we're going to head over to A&M Martin, get a Cajun turkey po' boy. We're starving.
See you on Monday, everybody.
All right, everybody.